Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining me here. For this meditation, I do encourage you to sit up if possible and to have some space on either side as we will do a little bit of breath work that involves the arms moving. And in this meditation, I will also include just a few gentle movements that you can do seated just to help us find a little bit of mobility and release for the body. And then we'll move into some breathing and meditation. So I do encourage you to sit either in a chair or on top of the edge of a cushion or folded blanket if you're on the ground. If you are sitting down on that cushion or blanket, perhaps the legs cross or extend, and we'll allow our spines to grow nice and tall. And as you're settling in here, let's do just a few gentle circles with our shoulders, letting the shoulders roll up and down and around. You might like to close the eyes while you're circling the shoulders and just start to tune into the breath and sensation. And then try exploring one shoulder moving differently than the other, like you're swimming the shoulders back or forward. Beautiful. And then letting the shoulders soften down and away from the ears. We'll bring our hands palm to palm at the heart center. Interlace the hands and then press the palms out forward as you round your spine back, taking a nice stretch through the back of the body. From there, inhale and let the arms lift up to the sky. A little side to side sway of the upper body. Good, and then the spine is neutral. We'll release our arms down. You may twirl the wrists along the way. And just a few sun breaths here. We inhale. The full length of the inhale, reach the arms up, draw the palms together, and exhale, the full length of the exhale, hands coming down to the heart. Good. Follow your breath, another few rounds. Full inhalation, full breath capacity, and exhaling hands down to the heart. Beautiful. The next time hands are at the heart, let's pause there. And then let your arms sweep open to the side. Let the chest lift, look up. And then we'll round the spine, draw the palms together, bow down, rounding through the spine. Inhaling the arms, sweep, open, the heart lifts. And exhaling, the spine rounds, palms come together. And this time, interlace the hands again, press the palms forward, just another nice long stretch into the back body. From there, we'll release our arms, bring them behind you, either to, if you're on a chair, just to the chair behind you or to the earth behind you. We'll draw the shoulder blades back, lift the heart and look up. Beautiful. We'll bring our spines back to center. So if you have been sitting with the legs crossed, feel free to give the legs a little shake and wiggle. Refresh your seated position, and then we'll come together with a nice tall spine. Let's allow our eyes to close. Just spend a few moments noticing the internal effect of these gentle movements, welcoming the sensation. Awareness of the inhalation and the exhalation, flowing in and out. No need to control the breath, just allowing your breath to flow. Becoming more aware of the breath. And now let's bring both the hands onto the belly. And for the next few rounds of breath, do your best to notice that on the inhale, your belly expands, so your abdominal breathing. On the exhale, the belly is just kind of sort of coming back to neutral, relaxing, maybe the navel's drawing slightly back. So we inhale to feel the belly expand. And exhale to relax, perhaps the navel drawing slightly back. So we're practicing an abdominal breath. And the reason why the belly is moving is that because the lungs inflate as the breath moves down to the lower lobes of the lungs, which makes the diaphragm move down and the belly expand. Just continuing to notice that, just as much as is available for you today. And now let your hands lift up to the middle ribs. The hands are just sort of around the middle ribs, and we'll breathe in such a way that just as much as you can sense, on the inhale, you're expanding the middle ribs towards the hands. And as you breathe out, there's just a natural release and letting go. So just noticing how that feels to center awareness in the middle ribs, and just as much as you can feel the movement of the breath to expand that area when you breathe in, and to relax when you breathe out. Now, just another round. And then we'll let our hands lift up and rest on the chest. And now the intention is to feel, when you're breathing in, the chest expanding. When you're breathing out, relaxing. And just starting to notice how it feels to expand the breath in the chest. Soften on the exhale. And letting the hands drift down, you can let the eyes flutter open for a moment. So what we just practiced were the 3 sections of what's called the 3-part breath, or Dirgha Pranayama, which is a breath from the yogic tradition, and it's known for soothing the nervous system. And the way that the breath works is that on the inhale, we expand the belly, the middle ribs, and the upper chest. So we start with the belly and then feel the middle ribs and the upper chest inflate. The exhale is just nice and long and slow and relaxed. So when the body and the whole system, the whole nervous system, moves into stress, what happens is we often will breathe in the chest only. And then that can keep leading to more of a stress response and bringing the nervous system into the sympathetic state of stress. So one of the tools for regulating the nervous system and for remembering and relearning how to come back to a relaxation response is to bring the breath down low. So that's where that belly breath comes in, that abdominal breath. When we move the breath down into the lower lungs and the belly expands on the inhale, we're sending a message to the nervous system, signaling the nervous system to move into parasympathetic response, or the relaxation response. So the more we can learn to do that, the more we can use that technique in day-to-day life, and hopefully be able to live more in the relaxation response. So when we meet those moments of challenge in our lives, that we can use that technique. And hopefully with practice, it comes even more naturally as time goes on. So go ahead and refresh your position, any little stretches or wiggles that you need. You can allow the spine to lengthen and the eyes to close. Now we'll bring one hand to the belly and one hand to the chest as we practice the full yogic breath. With your inhalation, feel the belly, the middle ribs, and the upper chest expanding, filling. The exhale is nice and long and slow and relaxed, feeling the chest and the belly soften. You might notice the navel drawing slightly back towards the end of your exhale. So we inhale to expand the belly, the middle ribs, and the upper chest, filling. And exhale, a smooth flow of the breath back out. Continuing to be present with this Dirgha Pranayama, the full yogic breath. Knowing that if it's at all a struggle to find where the breath is moving, just focus on your breath being as long and slow as is comfortable. And you are welcome to let the arms rest down to the lap or the knees or wherever they're comfortable now. Continuing with this long and slow, deep diaphragmatic breath. Noticing the spaces in between each breath. Noticing the spaciousness in the mind. As we give the mind something to focus on, in this case the breath, we can start to still the mind. And as the mind relaxes, we can start to settle into a state of presence and awareness. And as you continue to use this technique of full inhalations and long exhalations, we'll use an internal affirmation or mantra. When you inhale, the sound here, just like an inner whisper. On the exhale, the sound now, just as an inner whisper. So you're reciting those words internally, inhaling here, exhaling now, here, now, continuing. And if the mind wanders into a story or a narrative, you can call awareness back to the present using the breath and the words here and now. And gradually letting go of that particular breathing exercise, and yet allowing the breath to continue to flow with awareness. But it's a more natural breath, so letting go of the technique and letting go of the mantra of here, now. simply being present with the breath as it is. Again, knowing that this breath is your anchor if the mind is moving in one direction or the other. The breath remains in the present moment as an anchor for the mind. Again, if the mind wanders, bringing awareness back to the breath very gently, in a relaxed way. The breath continuing to draw your mind's focus here and now, knowing you can bring back these words anytime and use them to help anchor the mind here and now. And gradually we start to transition. You can bring your hands together at heart center, and for a few breaths give thanks to yourself. You might internally whisper, "Thank you." We dedicate the fruits of our practice to all beings. May all beings live in peace. May our lives contribute to this peace for all. Namaste and thank you. Thank you so much. So feel free to take a moment to wiggle around. Maybe if you're cross-legged, you'd like to stretch the legs out, let them wiggle, let the spine move, roll the shoulders. So thank you so much for tuning in. Of course, I welcome your feedback and your questions, your reflections. You can use the comments on the YouTube video as an option or be in touch. And I look forward to connecting more. Be well. Thank you.